me ask you a question. Who here is afraid of public speaking? Thank you guys, thank you. Me too. Public speaking is hard. There's no two ways about it. But imagine doing a speech in a language that's not your own in front of a lot of people. You're doing this on national TV in a country of 1.4 billion. And you're doing this for a competition. All of the hard work leading up to this moment, barely getting any sleep, pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into the preparation for it. That was me. Was I doing that to win? Was I pouring all of my time and energy into the preparation for this competition to claim first place? Yes. To be honest, yes, I was. At least at first. That's all I could think about. Tēnā tātou e katoa, talofa lava, ni sampola vinaka, kawe koe tātia hao. My name is Telesia Tanoa'i. I'm 16 years old and a proud Samoan Fijian New Zealander. I've been blessed with the privilege of being a daughter of a New Zealand diplomat, a proud Samoan Fijian New Zealander herself. So my family have had many opportunities to travel and live in different countries in the world, such as Taipei, Taiwan, Suva, Fiji, and Wellington in the beautiful Aotearoa, New Zealand. Hence my passion for learning languages to connect and learn about other beautiful cultures around the world and advocate for issues I'm passionate about, such as climate change and how it affects the Pacific Islands. Growing up overseas, away from my extended family, also came with struggles with my cultural identity. There were times where I didn't feel a sense of belonging, and I didn't feel good enough. It is a journey I'm still navigating through now, but I'm so proud for the experiences that have shaped me as the person I am today. When living in Taiwan, I learned to understand and speak the language Mandarin Chinese. And for those who know, it is not an easy language to learn, let alone maintain in a non-Chinese speaking environment. But when I spoke it back to my family in New Zealand, everyone couldn't believe it. A little Pacific Island girl speaking Mandarin Chinese. 大家都喜欢听我讲中文，他们常常问我怎么会说这个字，怎么会说那个字。Everyone was asking me, how do you say this, how do you say that, or just say something in Chinese, followed by a, whoa, that's so cool. And secretly, it did kind of feel cool to be able to do something not many people around me could. In my last year of primary school in New Zealand, my parents encouraged me to enter a Chinese speech competition. Oh, no, thank you. Yeah, no, I was not ready to be competitive with my Chinese skills. But then I thought about how speaking the language was kind of like my special hidden talent. And winning in a regional competition would really mean proving myself good enough. I thought nothing would make my parents and family more proud than me entering and placing. And so I had my eyes set on one goal: first place. It was a lot of hard work. It was during the global pandemic, so I was at home for days, focusing on my speech, practicing the correct pronunciation, the correct tones and delivery of my speech repeatedly. And when the day came, I was all prepared to deliver it. About a week later, I remember my mum reading out the results. Telesia, third equal. I mean, oh, my parents were so proud of me and my sister by my side always cheering me on. And then, of course, my parents had to share the news and everyone, my friends, my family, my school was so happy and proud of me. And then there was me. I was happy, I guess. Then the overthinking took over. But why not first? What could I have done better? Am I not good enough? As much love and support I had around me, I wasn't so loving and supportive to myself. I was annoyed. I thought I let myself down. And so I wanted to forget about the competition. And so I went to a new high school with a new Chinese teacher. I immediately said no to entering the competition again. Oh, 老师，我不要参加，谢谢你. No, thank you, teacher. I don't want to. And honestly, it felt good not to worry about that stress for a whole year. Man, to me, that was so tiring and just a lot of work. Fortunately, after settling into my new high school, I found great Chinese Kiwi friends. And it felt so good to practice my Mandarin with them. I was getting into Chinese hip-hop, TV shows, movies, and had lots of Chinese homework. So I did have a good support system to help me maintain the learning of the language. I was getting my confidence back. My goal was to use my Chinese skills for my passions, such as climate change and how it affects the Pacific Islands. And that's when I clicked. Why don't I enter the speech competition with a speech about that? And so I did. It was a lot of work to prepare for it. We don't learn the Chinese technical terms for things like climate change mitigation or carbon emission reduction in the high school curriculum. But it was a labor of love. I was so passionate about it. And so I was more than happy to do the research for the new terms and vocab and recite my speech repeatedly to get it as good as possible. And just like that, the time came around to deliver my speech again. My second time entering. I gave it my all and finished with a smile on my face. I did it. I had a good feeling about it. Another week of anticipation, waiting for the results. Oh, I couldn't calm down. I wanted to know so bad. Did I make it? Was I first place? I look over my mum's shoulders as I read the results. Telesia, third equal. I'm not gonna lie, tears started streaming down my face. I shouldn't have been so hard on myself, but third place just wasn't good enough. Inevitably, my parents, my family were so proud of me, but I felt like a failure. I thought that even when I was giving my absolute all, mentally and physically, even then, I wasn't good enough to be first place. What I remember from that night was the feeling of defeat. And my mum, being the hero she is, walked into my room to comfort me, reminded me that I needed to think about why I wanted to enter the competition again in the first place. And why was that? It was to spread the message about my people, the Pacific Islands, to a wider audience. I had the vocab and terms now. Because I had forced my brain to memorize my speech over and over again, I could have a casual conversation about climate change with anyone in Chinese. My mum also recorded the speech because she knew that it should be shared no matter what. So that night, tears streaming down my face, I opened my TikTok app to my face. On my mum's account. Delivering the speech I just did. Hashtag Samoan girl talks climate change in Chinese. mean, like, really? Nah, but I was grateful my mom was still pushing for me. I had just lost hope myself. The next morning, I woke up to the TikTok having over 20,000 views. What? I opened the comments and there was so much love and support. People were surprised, curious, and proud. And what I thought was really cool was finding other Pacific polyglots online who connected to my story and encouraged me to keep going. The TikTok then went over to 150,000 views, 27,000 likes, and hundreds of comments. People were messaging me saying that they felt so inspired and saw what I had done and felt the same way, and that's when I realized. Placing first in the competition, it didn't mean anything compared to all the good that came out of sharing my message. Through my speech, many other amazing opportunities came up. I was asked to deliver my speech at a Chinese gala where many dignitaries were present. Then I was asked to become a youth ambassador for New Zealand Chinese Language Week. Then I was asked to share my message at Parliament. And then I was on the front paper of the local Wellington newspaper. One opportunity led to another, I'm so blessed that I was able to share my message about climate justice in so many different ways. And though I didn't place first, I realized that first place is just a number. Though I came to that realization, I wasn't willing to enter the competition again. Well, at least at first. When my Chinese teacher asked if I wanted to enter for the third and final time, it was an immediate no. It was even brought up in my parent-teacher interview. And my parents, knowing the toll the competition had previously made on my mental health, understood and respected my decision in not entering again. It took a long time to think about it, though. There were pros and cons of entering. And a big reason to enter was the chance to share my message about the Pacific Islands to a global audience. And so I promised myself that if I was going to enter, I wasn't going to win. First place. That wasn't the big goal anymore. I didn't need a competition to tell me I was a winner. In the eyes of my friends, parents, my family, community, I had already won. And so I walked into that competition room determined to give the best performance and enjoy it. Okay, 大家好，准备好了吗？ Are you ready? Look at me， 从上到下见到怕小的细节一样美到爆炸。戴上 gold chain J 踩在脚下，嫉妒的也只能在网络上在马新一代念文出现，快点都给我让开，我从来不等眼看他们实现的真爱。I had my friends supporting me, everyone nodding their heads, really getting into it, and they were feeding off my energy. The room was full of hype. 穿我的新衣，希望每一天有不同的惊喜。穿我的新衣，从来不复原打扮的惊喜。My New Swag by Vava was the name of the song that I performed. And you know what? That's exactly what I brought to the table. My new attitude, my new energy, and my new swag. And I was proud to be there. The first time in my 3 attempts at entering the competition, I didn't care about the result. But guess what? Guess what, guys? Guess what? I placed first. to represent Aotearoa New Zealand in the global competition in China. The competition was a multi-round elimination system with challenges of academic knowledge, speech, and talent. At the international competition, I was competing against 109 other students from 97 countries around the world. Sheesh. It was very intense. The competition is a big deal in China and is televised on national TV. There were film crews and an entourage following us everywhere, and it was very hard as I was away from my family for 2.5 weeks. Very intense. But the contestants were accompanied by their Chinese teachers, and I was very lucky to have the support of mine. I was also really grateful that my parents, all the way from New Zealand, despite the time difference, constantly messaged me, telling me not to worry about the competition, but to have fun, enjoy my trip, and make the most of the experience. And that's exactly what I did. I was very nervous to go into that stage. But when I walked on, I knew I was taking my village behind me, my family, and my people. I felt the presence of them and of the man above, and my heart was full of pride. The cut from each round was from 110 students down to 30, then down to the top 5 before the final champion was announced. In the end, I had the honor of becoming first in Oceania, becoming the champion of our blue Pacific continents, and finishing in the top 5 of Chinese language students in the world. Ironically, it was only once I had let go of placing first and put purpose first that I placed higher than I ever thought possible. Placing was only secondary. Why y'all laughing? Placing was only secondary to the experience I had, the friends I made, and the message I got to share. Because at the end of the day, first place is just a number. Kia ora, whawhitai te re lava, vinaka waka level, 谢谢大家。